Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Wake and Bake Live on this Friday morning. It is Tammy coming to you live from my office here at my house as I am waking and baking this morning. And I'm going to give you all a few moments to jump on here because I know it takes a second for you to find me and to get the things on here. But I'm going to give you a couple of things I need you to do a favor for me, right? Costs nothing to do these things. Number one, as you jump on here, say hello and tell me where you're watching from. And then number two, if you are part of the Grateful Fed family already, as always, drop us a Grateful Fed in the comments and just pound on some of those little buttons, those little heart buttons or those little thumbs up buttons or those good morning, happy Friday from Toledo, Ohio. Happy Friday from Toledo, Ohio. I am here watching myself. I am coming to you live from Farmville, Virginia today, Central Virginia, the heart of Virginia, and I am I am I was on the struggle bus a little bit this morning. Let's just say that. Number one, good morning. Number one, my staff decided today that they wanted to start earlier. They're like 9 o'clock it is, and I was like, "Fuck, okay, 9 o'clock it is." But I'm discombobulated because schedules have changed, right? And things are different. And me and the dog both are off our pooping schedule now, apparently. So whenever things get kind of schedules changing, I get discombobulated. So I'm a little discombobulated today, but in a good way, right? In a good way. And I'm going to talk about that. We're talking about being discombobulated today and being able to stay in flow despite of. And I'm going to talk to you about the two cards I pulled this morning because I was off of my routine. So I took a minute to go sit in the space that they're going to be working in today in the trim room. And I'm like, you know what? Let me call some energy in right here to where so much heart energy has been given to the house and to the plants. And Mel's here looking at me crazy. Yeah, plug it in. I can get you when I tell the words in a second. Probably in the computer when I get done. If you look on the side right here, if there's a spot, you can plug it into the side of the monitor. And if not, just unplug the speaker side. The speaker should be the little cord. Yep. And you can plug that one right there beside it. So you're welcome. Give me a second, y'all, as we get things done. Good morning, good morning. We do need a grocery run for like Fruity Pebbles stuff and all that. I want to go for it. It's raining. But if you want to go pull what we have, because we got a shit ton of orders to there. So as we got discombobulated today, I decided to, if routines are going to be changed, right, to try to flip the script a little bit and to be divinely guided, to kind of go with the flow, to see what the morning brought me. So I got up this morning, and one of the things that I normally like to do in the morning before I do anything is I like to do a little gratitude meditation in bed before I get up in the morning. And this morning I kind of woke up, feet hit the floor, and I kind of started milling about. So I just took a moment after I got out of bed and went ahead and got a shower because I wasn't sure if they'd be early. So I went ahead and put some clothes on and washed the hair and all the things, brushed the teeth, made the cup of coffee. And I went into the living room and I sat down in the dining room. Let's call it the dining room because that's the area where we're trimming is in my like big great room, right? And when I tell y'all the energy in my house is phenomenal, everyone is buzzing about. Everybody is excited to be here. Everybody is, you know, really trying to be supportive of one another. They are excited to be here doing what we're doing. And it just feels good, right? Can anybody understand when energy just feels good? Can I get a hallelujah, amen, when energy just feels good? And so for me, I really tend to um, contain a lot of my energy stays in this room. And this morning, when I came in here to sit down in front of the computer, I wanted to pull a card this morning for today's Wake and Make, because I was like, I don't really have. I was in the shower a little earlier. I was doing gratitudes. I just did not have any, like, nothing was coming to me in the shower. Nothing was coming to me in my affirmations. Sometimes I get that little whisper in my ear that says, this is the words today. And then this morning I was like, I'm not, I don't know what the message is going to be. And then I was told, pull a card, go sit down, take a deep breath, and ask what you want, what the message should be today. Ask what the message should be today. So I went and sat down in the living room at the table where they're trimming. I took some deep breaths and I was like, okay, make me a clear and perfect channel. Give me the message that you would like me to deliver to the masses today. Tell me what I'm supposed to talk about today. And as I was shuffling, and normally cards don't jump out at me a lot, like not like these days. Sometimes I feel like it's just more of my hands aren't working and I drop them versus like really them jumping out. But today I really felt like two cards jumped out. And the two cards I pulled from the Avalon deck, as y'all see, the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle deck this morning. And I asked for the card to give me the message today. And a lot of times, I get the card. I'm just going to read the card and see what comes up. But I read these and I read the descriptions today. And I thought it was super interesting. I thought it was super duper interesting, the cards that popped out today, because two cards popped out. The first card that popped out was the Merlin. And I have had this deck for a couple of months now, and I've never pulled the Merlin. That is the number one card. It is alchemy, alchemy, justice, and balance. Which, I mean, there's not a card on the planet as a true Libra. I mean, a true Libra you're talking to right here. There's not a card anywhere that is more suited, that makes me more happy than alchemy, justice, and balance with the Merlin card. But out with the Merlin card, out also popped the Water Fairy, which is card number 28, and it says feelings and emotions. And when those two cards popped out, number one, I looked at the two cards, and first of all, I was like, man, the duality of these two cards. The duality of these two cards and how interesting they are that they popped out today. The duality of alchemy, justice, and balance, the Merlin, and the Water Fairy, which is feelings and emotions, right? And it was interesting because the way that I took this is that how kind of the scales, right? The balance of things about justice and fairness and what's right and what the facts, right? When you think about justice and balance, I think about justice, I think about like the law and order, right? Like law, and like there's a way, there's justice, there's rules. It's kind of rigid, right? It's kind of what you think about when you think about justice and balance, and there's right and there's wrong, and there's these things, right? And then on the other side of that, when you think about emotions and feelings, those things are very much fluid. And the Water Fairy, even with the water, right? The fluidity of emotions and feelings, and there's really no right or wrong, and you can honor that. I might see something and feel one way about it, and Heather Johns might see it and feel another way about it, and someone else might see it and feel another way about it, and it's no right or wrong answer, right? There's no like rigid right or wrong thing, because it's very subjective, right? So one of the cards to me seems very objective, right? Very much black and white, gray, and it might just be the interpretation that I had of these cards this morning, right? Because I'm going to read you what each card says. But for me, it was like the duality of that, right? Understanding that in life, not everything is so hard and fast as the Merlin, right? Not everything is so hard and fast as the Merlin, but not everything also is so fluid like the Water Fairy. And let's read what the Merlin says to start that off, right? Let's look at the Merlin card. So the Merlin card is the number one card. It's alchemy, justice, and balance. And it says the Merlin is the messenger of initiation in alchemy and is both the magician and the high priest. He is the masculine keeper of magic and has the ability to turn iron into gold, iron ore into gold. Good morning, everybody. The Merlin says you have all you need to move forward. Rejoice that all the elements you require for success are indeed present. You are given notice that when it comes to your life and its purpose, the magical aspect of the Merlin can be summoned to help you. Hang on. Can be summoned to help you find the answer that is within you. When the Merlin appears, he tells you that justice will be done in all matters of your query, but not by any forceful action, right? Not by force, but by power. Because power versus force is important. Instead, ask yourself what you need to do to bring balance into your life. And that was the thing that was so interesting, right? Alchemy, justice, and balance, right? What can bring balance? And I thought it was interesting. You go from justice, right, to emotion, and there's the balance of knowing, right, with having the rigid pieces and parts, and then also allowing yourself to feel your feelings, right? Understanding that you are magical, understanding that you do have the power to do whatever that you need to do because you are fully and supported by source, by your community, by your divinity. You are fully supported in that. But understanding that when you do get into your emotions with the water fairy, the feelings and emotions, that does not make anything wrong with you. It does not make you broken. It does not make you not trusting of your magic. It just makes you human, right? It just makes you the human part of who you are. And I thought the duality of these cards coming up together was very interesting, reminding us of that, right? So it says, like, where can you find the balance in your life, right? Are you working too hard? Perhaps overthinking things? Do you have enough downtime, right? The answers you seek are not found in obvious places. It's time to go within through meditation and prayer. Ask the spirit world of Merlin's magical influence to send you signs and omens to help you chart your course. The Merlin says that he will lend you his wisdom and magic on this leg of your journey until you can claim it as your own. The message is always, be in the world, but not of it. Wear it only as a loose cloak about your shoulders. You will never have to look outside yourself for answers when the Merlin appears. Remember, all signs and omens sent by the Merlin are but a reflection of which was in you already. So it's saying, like, look, if you have all the answers within, right? You have all of the answers. And what I'm going to tell you is that the message that came through for me, right? The message that came through for me specifically with this is that I needed to stop holding myself so much into contempt when I have an emotion or I have a feeling, because that's part of the balance. I can understand that the magic supports me, but when I do spiral a little bit down to fear, not to hold myself such a rigid and hard punishment of feeling that way, right? To acknowledge that I've slipped, right? To acknowledge that I had this emotion that wasn't maybe from a heart space, that maybe that I need to rethink about, like I say the word fear versus, or say the word nervous versus excited, and realizing that they make your body feel the same way. It's just how you frame it, whether or not you're excited or you're nervous. And knowing, right, knowing that even though you're magical and you are supported and that we have the faith of that and the trust of that, that those emotions and feelings from time to time rear their head up. And that just makes us human. And it says, be of the world, live in the world, but not be of it. Basically, it's saying, like you know that you're a human. You're of this world. You're going to have these feelings and emotions, but don't wrap yourself in them. Loose cloak, right? They warm you up for a second, but then you give that shawl right back, or that cloak right back, because you don't live underneath those, right? You don't allow those to control you and to keep you in a place that's not good for you today, right? So let's look at what the water fairy says and see how that kind of goes along with the with the message that I'm talking about with the Merlin. The water fairy. When the water fairy swims up to you with her liquid magic, she reminds you that emotions and feelings may be running the show, right? She asks you to consider how you really feel about things and why. She also reminds you that you are not your feelings. You are the one experiencing them, right? Remember that as the water flows, emotions change. The water fairy also tells you that it's time to lose your rigidity, right? So just like with the Merlin, it's telling you um, have a little rigidity, right? Have a little rigidity, right? The water fairies reminding that even too much of that is a bad thing. So just like the Merlin reminds you that you're not of the world, right? You live in it, but you're not of it. That you need to have some rigidity and you need to trust in the magic and you need to know that you are supported. The water fairy even reminds you that not allowing yourself to be a little bit more fluid and to get out of that rigid pattern and to understand that there's going to be times when you have karmic lessons and you have soul contracts and you have things to fulfill that are not going to keep you always so in flow. That's always the goal, but there's going to be times when you're going to have to be a little fluid, and even having the right balance of all of it is going to make you such a happy, healthier human while you're here, right? So it says, if you're happy right now, enjoy. The water fairy swirls her love around you. If things are making you sad, she comes to wash away your tears. The water fairy knows the power of emotions. So when she appears, be mindful of them and how they affect you. Remember, feelings are the fuel for manifesting, right? When we talk about manifesting, we're like, feel how it feels to already have it. Like, feel the excitement, feel the air on your skin, live in the emotion because the emotion emotes creativity, it emotes activity, it emotes things happening. So the feelings are also such a vital part of all of it, right? It's all about the balance. It's all about finding your flow. It's all about not forcing things, but allowing yourself, right, to be within the flow of the magic. And I love these cards today. They really did resonate with me. Are they resonating with anyone out there? Is anybody else feeling this message is for them today? Um, be certain that you want to create what you're feeling, right? Allowing your feelings to pass through and focus on the positive. The water fairy longs to smile at you in your reflection. Now, I will say this, right? It's an important thing to think about this because we talked about this a little bit on Heart Space last night. And it's interesting to talk about because when you say that like emotions are great at manifesting, when I tell y'all that worrying is praying for that which you do not want to happen, that is a powerful manifesting tool because when you worry about something, you are dead set on it, right? It's like, how do you do this? You're just picking a scab, right? And when you worry, that is praying for things that you do not want to happen. And I have been preaching, and I say preaching because I have been preaching that lesson for years now in all of my different communities that I have been working in. Um, we need to learn, right, to put the things into the universe that we want to see come back to us. And we don't realize that we say, I don't want this to happen. I don't want that to happen. All the universe is hearing is, I want, and then whatever it is. Not the don't. If you don't want to have rain, don't say, I hope it don't rain. I hope it don't rain. I hope it don't rain because the universe is hearing, I hope rain. I hope rain. I hope rain. What you want to say is like, I am excited to enjoy sunshiny days, right? And so when you are manifesting, you're speaking things into existence, your language is important, but it is even the utmost importance, not only when you're speaking it out loud to the universe, but like we always say, like, God has no secrets, he hears everything. Or she hears everything, or they hear everything, or whatever, however you want to gender your deity. Um, but even if you don't, you do whatever. But they hear those secret, I hope this doesn't happen. I'm worried about this. That's energy. You're emoting energy, right? Where your mind goes, your energy flows. Energy is never ending. When you were worrying, you were sitting on something, you're spinning on something, right? When you were spinning on something. And that's why the water fairy reminds you, right? To swirl through it, not to live in that emotion. If you're not happy, you need to call that in to wash that sadness away. But if you're happy, manifest more happiness, right? That's why I say like attracts like. Gratitude raises the vibration. Um, Emotions matter, right? Emotions matter. but we cannot let them rule us 100%. And that's what the message was today. It was about having balance in the world, about finding the things that, um, you have to have a little bit of rigidity, you have to have a little bit of flow. And when you combine the two, right, and you get into your rhythm, right, into your balance rhythm, when you're surfing the sea of life, it makes you just what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, like the caught my first tube today, like right on on Point Break. It's it's empowering, right? When you learn to kind of ride, and it's funny because it's a great analogy with surfing, right? When you ride the waves of life and you like can kind of finally ride that first big wave and not get knocked down by it, you feel the power of it, right? And when you start learning how to surf the waves of life, having the rigidity of understanding that you have to paddle, 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 pop up, and then feel the oceans break, the oceans break, the way that the water flows beneath your feet, like you're using some rigidity in that, like, the way the patterns and how that goes, right? I know pipelines and agriculture. Yes. Every day I am learning more about pipelines and agriculture. Each moment, resources are finding their way to me to help me know more about pipelines and agriculture. And we're going to help Heather hold space of that today, right? So if y'all can send some love energy to Heather today to remind her that she is powerful and she is magic and she's an alchemist. Don't live in those feelings, right? Go ahead and catch that first big wave of life. Go ahead and pop up on your surfboard, right? Go ahead and pop up on that surfboard. Go ahead and feel the power of the world and underneath of you. And you feel that you have the ability to ride that wave, to not get knocked off the board, to not eat sand, to not get rolled up on the beach, right? But you have the power to surf that powerful wave of life. It just depends on it's either you can or you can't. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're exactly right. So today, I'm going to encourage you to have a think I can attitude, right? I want you to jump on that surfboard today. And I want you to let the emotion of excitement replace the emotion of fear. I want you to let the emotion of happiness replace that of worry and anxiety, right? Allow yourself to feel the feelings. Um, but be okay with feeling those good big feelings, right? Be okay with welcoming in that sense of I've got this, because a lot of it just comes down to you making up your mind that you got this, that you can ride this wave, and that even if you get knocked off the board today, right? Even if you get knocked off the board today, you just go back out there tomorrow and you just keep swimming, right? You just keep pedaling, paddling. I guess what we call it, paddling. Just keep paddling. Just keep paddling. Just keep paddling. And eventually you're going to catch your set of waves. And that's what it is. It's like, it's really a great analogy of kind of like riding the waves of life, right? We pedal out or paddle out, we sit there, we kind of bounce up and down, and we look out for the set of waves. And then every so often, it looks like it's our turn to get in the lineup, and some big bullshit comes at us, and either we ride it, we go wee, or we get rolled over the sand, right? But the important part is that we get out there on the board, we pedal out, we ride the waves, we ride the bounces, and that whenever our shot comes, right, we hop on it. We hop on it. Um, because that's what it's all about, right? That's flow. That's kind of a didn't have a clue. That was where I don't even surf, but my husband does. I play one on TV, right? I'm not a surfer. I done say it Holiday Inn Express last night. But that's the message that I got today, right? That's the message that I got today. Was that and being fully supported by your magic does not mean that you don't have emotions and feelings and all of the things. It is just learning to surf them. It is just learning to find out when your set is coming, how hard to pedal, when to pop up. And that is what this whole human existence is about, right? We have gone through lifetimes on timelines and places and all the things. Our souls have been around the bend and back. And I think the whole purpose of it is, it's your soul goes out there, it sits on that board for a little while, says, "Oh, I see a human experience and I want to jump into it," and it rides it. And some lifetimes we ride it, and we get the trophy, right? We ride the best set. We have the set that we wanted to have, and that's the journey of that lifetime. Other times we end up with a broken board and some scuff marks. Sometimes we get eaten by sharks. Um, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a million and one outcomes that we have to just be brave enough to keep pedaling out, right? To keep on keeping on, and that's what it's all about: is keeping on, keeping on. And on that note, today we have got a lot of things we're going to get done. We are so very thankful that even though there's a lot of storm damage down there in Florida, that all of our grateful fed family that we have caught up with, everybody seems to be well and safe. Physically, stuff can be replaced, but people can't. Um, and yeah, I think that every time Heather says I sure do, but I control my own destiny. I agree with that. I believe it just depends on what we choose to do, right? Do we choose to pop up on that board? And that comes with, whatever we do in that lifetime. I believe 100% it just makes the decision. Do we decide to pedal in? Do we decide to take that ride, or do we sit there and watch it go by? Right? That's kind of where I think that we have that control. I think that we always are sitting out there, and whether or not you're sitting out there on the board ready to take the ride or not, right? Because I know a lot of people um, have to come back in this existence a whole lot more times because they don't fulfill all their karmic lessons or soul contracts. And so for me, I'm trying to fulfill everything I got to fulfill and the way I've got to fulfill it and know that it's divinely guided. Um, but we are going to get some stuff done today. I did not get any interest that were local for the Hocus Pocus bags. So sorry about that. There won't be any of those, but I might have those available throughout the month, just because it's a perfect little movie bag. It might put that little bundle on there, like movie night bundle. I think those would be really cute for Christmas as well, or the holidays as well. But it is the first weekend of October. It is the last day. Today is the last day of September. If you have not gotten your September munchie of the month, this is the last chance to get it. It is our um, apple cider donut bundt cake. That is our munchie of the month. We are changing over tomorrow to our October munchie of the month, which is our royal icing decorated cookies. It's a sugar cookie with a little fun decorated treat on it. So we're going to be branching into decorated cookies, and I'm excited to share those with y'all. We got lots of different cookie cutters in, so we're going to see which ones we do the best. We're going to play with those a little bit at the beginning of the week. So you will find out whenever you get your boxes in, whether you get a witch's hat or a cat or a bat or a pumpkin or a ghost. So they're going to be super cute. Cut out spectacular cookie trios. You're going to get 3 cookies in your Munchie of the Month box. Plus, we have our jack-o'-lantern decorating contest. We're going to do some costume contests, some coloring contests. Lots of fun stuff coming up in the month of October. So it's the last day of September. We've had a great month. Thank you, as always, for all your support. Make sure you get your orders in before noon today. I should have them done by end of business if they're done by noon today. So if you still have not placed your order for the weekend, get that in. The sale prices that's going to end tonight because that was the September sale. We might have something fun for October starting this weekend. It is my birthday week, so we may have a little birthday fun something. I don't know. I'm going to think about it today. You know me and my nonsense. So that is what we have for today, y'all. I appreciate Heather for showing up this morning. I'm not sure everybody else is on Friday morning, maybe sleeping in late. I'm not sure, but thank you for showing up today. It's all about the power of one, and whether you watch us on replay later or you're here this morning catching it, we go out every day and we try to make the world a little bit better um, for one person, even if that person has to be you today. But we try to go out and reach one person each day, which helps us grow our numbers by double each day. So I hope that you will go out today, that you will find somebody to go make a difference in their life. Just say, hey, you have a beautiful smile. or how is your day going, or just reaching out and touching and checking on somebody today. I encourage you to go out and do that. It's Friday. I call it this Pay It Forward Friday. Go out today, be nice to somebody on purpose. Tell them about us, tell them about the magical power of the cannabis plant, and be on the lookout for some new fun options coming out for October. I'm going to be dropping stuff on the website tomorrow. I will let y'all know when it's updated. I will do a little post about it. But we're kicking off October with lots of fun in a spooky month. So be on the lookout for tons and tons and tons of fun stuff for October. And on that note, peace, love, and feast. And as always, stay elevated. I love y'all so much. Be safe today. They call for weather here in Virginia and on the East Coast. So if you're back in the path of that hurricane, we're going to hold space. Everybody is fine. I love y'all so very much and have a great evening. Thank y'all.